Hey, sixth graders. Um, if you're watching this video now, that means that you have finished your research document and you are ready to start working on your final product. So let's go through the document of your final product so you can see what it contains and what you should be working on. You can find the final product document in your PLP under the My Google Doc link on the main project page. When you open up the document, you're going to see a description of the overall project. So, like we discussed on the very first day, America has a problem. Kids aren't active, and it's making them be really unhealthy. So, the National Institutes of Health, which is a big organization that tries to get people healthy, has hired you to create some sort of multimedia product that's going to encourage kids to get active and be healthy. We want you to think about your audience being third graders, so younger kids. You want to create this in a way that's going to get them excited about getting involved in a certain activity that you've picked. Now, you've already picked that activity. It should be an activity that you like to do. And it should be an activity that has them using both their bodies and their minds. So in the final product document, I want to point out this section right here that I'm going to highlight. This section explains what should be included in your final product. Your final product should first off have some kind of introduction and conclusion. Introducing the activity, introducing what you're going to be talking about, and then a conclusion at the end to kind of summarize your big points and wrap it all up. Then in the main body of your product, you're going to have the following things. One thing you're going to have is a description of the physical things your body is doing during that activity. So describing the different actions and movements that you take. The next thing you should include is an explanation of how at least two different body systems communicate and work together to let you do the activity. And for this part, focus on the respiratory system, the digestive system, the circulatory system, and the muscular system. So pick at least two of those and talk about how they work together to let you do that activity. If you really want to push yourself, you can pick two different ones and talk about those as well. You should also be talking about how your body systems interact with the environment to let you do that activity. So that would be something like how they interact with like objects and materials around them, or a bigger and more interesting thing is talk about how your senses are involved in understanding the world around you and doing that activity. You should also explain how you use your nervous system when doing this activity. So how your brain, your spinal cord, your nerves are involved, often with the other body systems in order to allow you to do that activity. And the last thing your product has to include is a model. Some sort of picture drawing that you have created, that you have labeled, that shows the different body systems and organs that you use in the activity. And you've got those labels that explain how they are used in the activity. If you want to go for an extension on this project, there is an extension opportunity right here. You can include an extra section that explains how cells are involved when doing this activity in your body. And we're going to do a science activity on cells in the coming week. Like we mentioned before, you have a choice over the different formats that your product can be in. Some sort of pamphlet or booklet, a website, video advertising, or if there's some other format that you think of that you'd like to do, just come talk to us and we can discuss that. Remember that for all of these, there's going to be stuff that you write and you'll get feedback on that writing, and then you'll transform that writing into your final product format. This paragraph just includes a reminder of the different skills that you're going to be assessed on for this project: organization, introduction and conclusion, construction and explanation. Those three are the big ones we're going to look for in your writing. And the due date, as you already know, is Friday, March 20th. And we will have time in the coming days during class to work on these products. But no, it might not be enough time for you to finish your products, so you should also be working on these at home. So when you scroll down to the second page, here's where you're going to do your work. First off, in this first box, I want you to tell us what format you want your final product to be in. Are you making a video? Are you making a website? Are you making a pamphlet? Are you doing something else? Type in here what format you want to work on. So let's say I was making a pamphlet. I'll need to spell it. I would type that in there. If you create some sort of document where there's a link to it, like you've created a video and there's a link to it, or you have a website and there's a link to it, when you're all done with that and when it's all created, please put the link to that document or that product in this second box here. If there isn't a link, if it's just like a physical thing that you create, you're going to turn that into us after the showcase on Friday, March 20th. Now, this is where the writing goes. Like we said, at the very end, you're going to take your writing and put it into a video or a website or pamphlet or whatever format you want. But first, before you start anything, you've got to write up everything that you're going to include in your product, and you're going to put that right here in this document. So you're going to write all of your paragraphs or like the script of your video in this box here. This is what we will be going to give you feedback on your work, and this is what we will be looking at to create your final scores. You still do need to create that final product, but this is where this is the only place we're actually going to be able to leave you feedback. So this is where we need you to do your writing. Our suggestion for how to start is to start with the body paragraph. Start with the middle, like the informational stuff. Then when you finish that, you can go back and add your introduction and conclusion. That's the best way to work. So that's what you should be working on now. You should take the information from your research document. You should look back up here at the instructions for what to include, and you should start typing up those things into the final product space down here. Remember, you've got up until the 20th for this to be done, so the sooner you can start typing and get something written, you can start getting feedback and start improving your work. If you have any further questions, please see me or Miss Willem. Otherwise, you can go ahead and get started.